Hello. Welcome to a brand new episode of the In the Life of Jeff show. Today I have a epic episode lined up. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. It's Friday, July 6th, 2018. So let's get rolling. So, today I have a great guest here from Skype, and we are huge wrestling fans and Disney nerds. Welcome, Ken. How are ya?
Hi, Jeff. I'm good. How are you? You?
I am great.
Yeah, me too. I know it's been in New England. It's been pretty hot, so, and we've had some storms going through. So I hope it cools down for us. It's been pretty warm.
So, can you share with everyone who you are, where you are from, and what you do for jobs?
Well, as you introduced me earlier, my name is Ken, and I live in Orange, Mass, which is probably about an hour from where you live. I am currently working in the human service field. I've been in the field for a long time, going on over 20 years. Currently, I am working at the West Winds Clubhouse in Fitchburg, and soon I'll be working for DDS. I'm just waiting for some information to get passed along. You and I have been good friends for a long time now, probably 3 or 4 years, through our love of like you said earlier, we're both big Disney fans and we're both big wrestling fans.
That's awesome. When did you start liking wrestling?
Oh, I've liked wrestling probably since the early days of Magnificent Morocco, Hulk Hogan, the Iron Sheik, I'm trying to go Nikolai Volkov. There's some of the great tag teams like I would say Honky Tonk Man, Greg the Hammer Valentine, way back in the early 80s. So I would say that's when I first started liking wrestling, but it's just progressed since then. So I would say it's been a good 30 years or more.
Which age was your first event?
My first event was probably a house show back when the Centrum had it in the early 80s. I can remember it was Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik was probably the first match I had ever seen back when the Centrum was worse. So that probably 83, 84. And then we started, I've seen every WrestleMania since. The first WrestleMania I ever went to was at the Worcester Centrum. This was long before they had pay-per-view. They had closed circuits, so everyone would buy tickets to go to the Centrum to watch. It was back when it was Sunday afternoons. It wasn't even at night. So we'd pile into the Worcester Centrum and watch WrestleMania from there. I've seen all of the WrestleMania since then. Gone to the Worcester Centrum, the Fitchburg Auditorium, the Worcester Auditorium. So I've been a wrestling fan for a long time, and that's when we first started seeing it. I've been to a few of the WrestleManias in person. I went to the WrestleMania in Houston. I've been to WrestleMania in Hartford when that was there, the WrestleMania in Toronto, and I'm planning on going to the WrestleMania in New York coming up.
Cool. My first encounter of WWF was in the 90s.
Wherever did you end up going? What was the first match you saw live?
I watched it on TV.
Nice. It's really cool because if you go to any of the WrestleManias, they have what they call WrestleMania Accent, where you can go and meet the wrestlers. They have like some of the props. Some of the props I've seen there are like the Corvette that Stone Cold Steve Austin filled with cement that was there. The limo that exploded that Vince was in. They have a lot of the props and stuff. And they have a lot of question and answers. They have a ring set up, and they have matches. I remember the Dudley Boys and Spike Dudley took on some local guys. But it was all fun. You know, they would answer questions. You could get autographs, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to coming up. I'd love to go to Fan Access again.
I never been, but I hope someday I go.
Yeah, I know coming up, the next big pay-per-view coming up in the area, I believe is going to be Tables, Ladders, and Chairs in October at the Garden. So that'd be a good time to... I know they've got coming up this Monday, Raw is going to be at the TD Garden this Monday, so...
My friend is a huge wrestling expert and his aunt lives one house down from Stephanie, and Hunter, and he does security.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. I met Hunter probably 10 years ago or so when he was living in Nashua with China. I just happened to be in Circuit City at the time, and him and China were shopping for computers. That was probably 10 years ago or more, and he just was shopping like everyone else. I went up to him, introduced myself. Very nice. He's a very nice individual, and so was China. They were both very nice to people who came up to them in the store.
That's cool. I remember doing the clown, and I hated him.
Yeah, Doink was one of those that just, I kind of like the gimmick off and on, and I know that a bunch of different people ended up playing Doink, but it was always funny hearing Jerry Lawler talk about Doink and his little dink. Remember when he had the little midget with him that was called Dink? It was funny. Then I remember they did this thing where there was a bunch of them.
As soon I heard the intro, I did a exit stage left.
Yeah, it was something back then. The 90s wrestling was really, really good during the Attitude Era. It had a lot of good storylines. The whole Vince McMahon against Stone Cold Steve Austin. All those storylines were just fantastic. I mean, I remember the one where Vince was in the hospital after he was attacked, and you had Mick Foley there with Mr. Sacco and that clown girl doing clown. And then all of a sudden you turn and Stone Cold Steve Austin was the doctor, and he's trying to shock Vince. And it was just a good time for story. Unlike now that the stories are absolutely terrible.
I agree. So, who's your top 3 favorites on brand for men and ladies?
Well, let's see. Let's start with Raw. I would say Raw right now, you have to go Braun Strowman, Elias, and Seth Rollins for men. And for women, I'd have to like Bayley, and third one's tough. I would say besides Nia Jax and Bayley, maybe Ember Moon. I kind of like the way where they're going with her. And on the SmackDown side, I would have to go with AJ, Nakamura, and maybe The Miz. I like The Miz, and New Day. I think I like more on the SmackDown side. For women, you got to go Becky Lynch. Trying to think who else is on that side for women. I'm not a big women's fan, so I don't. Carmella's not too bad, but that screechy thing she's doing really drives me nuts.
With James Ellsworth.
Yeah, I kind of like James Ellsworth. I'm kind of glad they brought him back. He's funny. I really do enjoy seeing him.
I like Strowman and Alexa as Raw and Ronda as a third bonus.
Yeah, I think I think they're working towards a Ronda Alexa match at SummerSlam, especially with something going on. So I think they're going to have that match at SummerSlam.
I also like Bailey.
Yeah, I like Bailey too. Not really sure where they're going with her and Sasha Banks, but I don't know who's going to be the face, who's going to be the heel there. I think that Sasha's going to turn on her.
I agree. What about the crazy Charlotte?
Charlotte's out, I guess, for a few. I'm not sure if she's going to make it back to SummerSlam or not. I guess she had surgery or something, so I'm not sure if she's going to be. I know she's up for Extreme Rules, and I'm not sure if she's going to be back for SummerSlam or not.
I love her promos on Raw.
Yeah, she does a really good job with her promos. I do like her. But look at her father. Her father was always the master of promos too, so it kind of was handed down through the family.
Stephanie is sort of the queen of promos with the drama.
Yeah, Stephanie's kind of hit and miss for me. A lot of her screechiness. She's trying to play a female version of her father, and I'm not sure that that's going to work. I know sometimes it can be over the top. She's definitely needs to work on that.
How about the twins? How do you rate them?
I would say the Bella Twins for me are kind of middle of the road. They kind of went Hollywood, you know what I mean, with their show and stuff. So they kind of fell off the map for me a little bit rather than focusing on wrestling. That they're more concerned about John Cena and Daniel Bryan. The fact that they're dating them and this whole marriage on again, off again things kind of driving me nuts. So they've kind of taken a back seat for me.
I love Total Bella's show. I watch every Monday.
Nice. After Raw? Is it on after Raw?
It's on Sundays.
Oh, okay. I thought it was on Mondays.
They were on Wednesdays, but moved to Sundays.
I'm really looking forward to SummerSlam coming up, but from what I'm hearing, Braun isn't going to be in it. Not Braun. Brock Lesnar is not going to be in it again, which is kind of baloney. You got the guy on the title. He's wrestled what, twice since this year? I mean, that's kind of ridiculous for a champion, if you ask me.
I agree. I also can't stand Asuka.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. I mean, they were supposed to do a Roman Reigns versus Brock, but Vince is so scared right now that Roman is going to be booed out of the building that he won't have Lesnar wrestle him. Because they know right now they got the hot body in Braun Strowman, but they're not throwing anything against him. It's ridiculous.
I met Hacksaw Jim Duggan at a camp in New York, and he came out with a wood and flag onto the stage.
Nice. Yeah, he's a really nice guy from what I heard outside of wrestling. I've met a bunch of guys like Kevin Nash, Booker T, The King, Cody Rhodes. I went to an event last year down in Pittsfield, and they were all there, and they were the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And, you know, unlike where if you go to a convention nowadays, they charge big bucks for autographs, they didn't charge hardly anything. You know, they met with the fans. You could take pictures with them, do autographs. It was all pretty reasonable. The only one thing when I went to that, it was Rey Mysterio was supposed to be there, and he was running just hard, and people kind of turned off by him a little bit. But the other guys, you know, Booker T was really nice. He came out and talked to the crowd. Everyone kept asking him to do the spin-a-rooney, and he says, "My days of doing the spin-a-rooney are long past me." It was really funny.
Who was the coolest to talk with?
I would say that the coolest was probably Booker T. I mean, he was just, this was right after Big Cat, you know, he was telling people he was going to call Big Cass and check on him, but he was just interacting with the fans. Even if you weren't in line, you know, people were just kind of standing around his table and stuff, and he was talking with people. You know, he wasn't really, he had a handler there, but he didn't kind of listen to him, but he just interacted with people, just standing there talking to him on his table and stuff. Whether you were in line or not, he interacted with you, and I think that was really cool of him.
I agree. That's super awesome. They are so relaxed.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they know where they're, you know, meeting with fans and stuff brings them a lot of money. So I think that, you know, it helps with their outside projects. He talked about his school, his wrestling school down in Texas, and that he was hoping to bring some of the performers up, you know, telling us, you know, who's been good down there and stuff. So it was really, really cool to see.
We're in Texas.
I think he said it was in Austin. I'm almost sure it's in Austin, but I'm not 100% sure.
Cool. My number one favorite guy, which you already know who it is. My favorite is Mr. 22 and 2 Undertaker.
Oh, yeah, yep. And he's going to be wrestling at a house show, I think, this weekend at the Madison Square Garden. I think it's him, Braun, and Roman, if I remember right. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Strowman, Roman,
And him, yep.
and Helios.
Yep, I remember that, yep. And he's also doing the Super Show down in Australia in October. He's going against Triple H.
I hope we see him for a few more Manias.
Yeah, I think that Australian Super Show is going to be on the WWE Network. I thought I had heard that. He was going to be on there.
What is your prediction per future Taker appearances at Manias.
I think they're going to use him very, very sparingly. I mean, he just had that hip surgery, so I know that, you know, they've got to be really, really careful with him as far as wrestling. So I would imagine he's probably going to be... I'm actually kind of shocked that at the Australian show that he's going to be in a singles match. But I think they're going to be very, very protective of him, having him in 3-man, 4-man tag teams, where basically the other teammates are carrying the load. He comes out, maybe does a choke slam, maybe does a tombstone, but they're going to be very, very careful with him because I can't imagine what would happen if something were to happen to his hip after having hip surgery.
I predict we have one WrestleMania left of him.
Yeah, I think maybe one WrestleMania and that'll be it. I kind of hope that it would be the end of him, you know, last year, because I think even though he lost, he went out on a pretty good note, you know, putting his stuff in the ring and then walking out. I thought that was kind of cool. I kind of think they did as a service to him the last WrestleMania, the whole John Cena thing. I mean, I can understand going out with a win, but it just kind of felt, you know, well, let's do this for him, you know what I mean, rather than having a storyline leading up to it, because I thought that that was terrible.
Should a legend do the duty of retiring him or send a rookie out?
I think it's kind of tough to answer. I think that what they tried to do with Roman is have Roman, and I think that just pissed people off more by having Roman beat. And that, because they thought that, hey, you know, kind of the Undertaker's passing the torch to Roman, and I think that backfired in their face, and I don't think they're happy. But I think that even wrestling someone like a Braun Strowman or someone like that, to have them, you know, you got to kind of ride the wave right now. And right now, Braun Strowman is the wave. And they're just, for some reason, hell-bent on having Roman be the next guy, and I think that's the fans are rejecting that. And I think right now Vince needs to take that to a back seat, and you need to put the title on Braun Strowman, ride that, because he is such a huge favorite right now. They need to ride that wave and give the title to him, however they do it, whether they have him. I think the best way to have him do it, if they want to do it, is have a Brock versus Roman, have Roman win the belt, and 2 seconds later, have Braun Strowman come out and cash his money in the bank and have him beat Roman. That's what they need to do, and unfortunately, I was hoping they would do that at SummerSlam, but it's looking less and less likely.
I also think Kane should tag team with Taker and both retire together.
Yeah, I agree. I think I know that Team Hell No is going against the Bludgeon Brothers, and I think even if they win the titles, it's going to be a very, very short run, because within a month, Glenn Jacobs is going to be, from everything I'm hearing, I kind of keep up with it a little bit to kind of see how he's doing in the polls and stuff for Knoxville. I'm predicting he's going to win that, and then you're not going to see him for a while on TV. So
I agree, and I see it coming from a mile away.
Yep, I agree. I think they're going to win, and like I said, I think the elections are within a month or so. So even if they do win it, it's going to be a very, very short title run. I think they just want to get them together one more time to do something. And not only that, they haven't said whether Daniel Bryan is going to re-sign because his contract's up September 1st, and they're scared to death that his contract's going to be up, and then come September 9th, I believe is the date, that he's going to show up on that all-in match in Chicago that Cody Rhodes has put together. And I know they're probably scared to death of that.
I agree. So, let's shift gears and head to our happiest place on earth, Disney. What age and year did you first go?
My first trip to Disney, I was probably 12 in 1982 was my first trip. My aunt and uncle had taken us on a surprise trip. They flew us down. I was going to see my aunt in Georgia. She lives in Lawrenceville, which is about 30 miles north of Atlanta. So we all figured that's where we were going. So we all went down there. And surprise, surprise, we got there, and my uncle said that we're taking a 12-hour car trip to go down to Disney. So that's what we did. We took a 12-hour car trip and went down from Lawrenceville, Georgia to Orlando. Epcot had just opened at the time, so it was a great. And ever since then, I've probably been an extra 15 or 20 times.
Me too. I think 100 for me.
Nice.
My first trip was in the 90s, and I had surgery on my arm because I fell and broke it, so we delayed it till April vacation, and I got lost at Pirates of the Caribbean.
The only place I've ever got lost at Disney was Animal Kingdom, especially in that front area, because it's all different paths and stuff to go to see the different animals. So, yeah, I can completely understand that. But now it's old hat to me. You know, you just show up, oh, this is Pirates, you can go, you know, left to go towards Splash Mountain, or you can go right towards Space Mountain. I've been so, I'm like one of the tour guides now.
Or straight to Big Thunder.
Oh, yeah, Big Thunder Mountain. I love that. Because you got Splash Mountain and Thunder Mountain right next to each other.
Then space is in Tomorrow Land, which I still don't get why they didn't put it with the other two mountains.
Well, you figure when Disney first opened, Tomorrowland was a big area, and those rides came along later, and just to fit the theming of it, you know what I mean? Where Frontier fit more of the Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and Space Mountain was in Tomorrowland. That was one of the first original rides once Magic Kingdom opened. And now they're going to have another roller coaster there. They just closed down the Tomorrowland racetrack, and that's where the Tron Light Cycle roller coaster, which is being imported from Shanghai Disney, is going. I think they're targeting that for the 50th anniversary. I believe that's scheduled to open in 2024, I believe.
2021, I heard from a rumor will.
Yep, and not only that, they're building right now the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster over at Epcot. And I know that they're also shooting for that for 2021 to open. Which seems to me that they're moving along pretty well with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that opens. I think their target is, I know for Star Wars, they're planning on that for a late fall of next year, which is going to be followed by the Guardians of the Galaxy and then the Tron Light Cycle.
I agree. I still need to ride the mine train.
Well, the mine train is a really, really good ride. I like it. Like I said, it's not too bad. You know, it goes slow and then it stops in the middle, and then you go through the mine. You see him singing, and then it comes out the other side. It's really, really cool. I don't think it's as bad as like Expedition Everest or any of their other big coasters.
My only problem is the West Hill.
Yeah. It's not too bad. It looks intimidating, but I don't think it's too bad. It's something you probably have to see in person to judge for yourself. I know that we had talked before and you had gone on a Flight of the Hippogriff, and it's not as bad as that, I don't think.
I love the Hippogriff at Universal, but I avoid all really high speeds.
Did you go on Spider-Man while you were over there? That's not really a roller coaster. That's kind of like an inside ride. That's something you could probably handle. It was really cool.
What do they do?
It's basically on a track. I would equivalent. It's probably a slower. Did you ever do Dinosaur at Animal Kingdom? It's a very slow ride. It's on a track, and you go through different scenes and stuff. It never leaves like the ground, and although it feels like it. Like there's times where it feels like you're bouncing off the Statue of Liberty. It never goes off of a flat surface.
I might try the race to New York with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, that's probably the same.
I need Fallon.
Yeah, I would say I did when I went there the last time. That had just opened. They were doing a soft opening of it. That is very, very similar to Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Very, very similar. Did you ever do Honey, I Shrunk the Audience at Epcot?
I think so, but I forget.
It's very similar. You've got an audience here, you watch a big screen up here, and it kind of goes through New York and stuff. It's very, very similar. I think you'd be all right with that.
I did Green Mission Space and loved it.
Yeah, I think you'd be all right. I think you'd be all right with that kind of ride. I've done Mission Orange, and it's really, really cool. It's, you feel the G-forces and stuff on you.
I wish I could reach the controls, but my friend Erica, who also hates speeds and thrilling stuff, had to do the command stuff.
Yeah. The one thing I would like to do when I go to Universal is I'd love to do their Halloween Horror Nights. I've done the Disney ones. I've done the Mickey's Not So Scary Party. I've done the Christmas Party, and they were both awesome. The next thing on my bucket list is to do the Halloween Horror Nights.
I did Mickey. No, not so scary. And I love the parade.
Yeah, that is just awesome. I remember when me and my buddies went, we went for his stepsister's birthday. I dressed up as Fred Flintstone. My buddy dressed up as a pirate. She dressed up as Tinkerbell. It was just an awesome, awesome time. We had a great time.
Then I watched the villain show, but as it stopped, I stopped filming it, thinking it was over, but the Queen had a dance for 10 minutes, so I was bummed.
Yeah, I can imagine. Sometimes you think it's done and then it's not. But the great thing now, especially on Facebook, they post a lot of the special parades and stuff, so you can see them right on there. I know I bought the soundtrack when I was down there to the parade, so it's really, really cool.
I have all the keys on my iTunes.
Nice. I like collecting those too.
I have a future Jeff Ash YouTube sound track play list for future trips.
Nice. Yeah, my next trip I'm hoping is coming up in February. That's my plan anyways, but you know how that works. That's my next scheduled trip.
My next is to determine, but maybe 2021 with my family.
Nice, that'll be fun. They're always good family trips. I usually end up going with my best friend, his wife, his stepsister, his mother. We're all big Disney fans, so we all go and we all enjoy ourselves. Last time we stayed at Fort Wilderness with the cabins, which was really, really nice, something we've always wanted to do.
America, and I stayed at Animal Kingdom for 2 nights and loved it.
The Animal Kingdom Lodge. Did you have one of the animal rooms? Oh my God, I can only imagine. The other thing that I'd like to try sometime is to get the contemporary, the fireworks rooms, so you can see them at night, but they're like $1,000 a night.
My first trip was that hotel with the monorail,
Nice.
and I think Goofy was roaming in the hotel once.
Yeah, back then they used to have a lot of the characters roam. They don't seem to roam too much anymore. They kind of keep. I know over at Disneyland they roam more than they do at Disney World. But at Disney World they're kind of stationary.
I went to Anaheim in 2015, and I loved it,
Nice. Yep.
and it was just a 4-day quick invasion with Erica, while my folks and my brother went to wine country.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember you going to Disneyland. So I was following your adventures.
We sort of planned it out ahead of time, so it was so easier than waiting.
Yeah, that's true. The one thing I want to try is that Cars Land. I want to try that ride out there.
That's my new second favorite.
Nice. Although I've heard that it's a lot smaller than Walt Disney World is.
It's teeny, tiny.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Even though they just had the Pixar Pier open, I've seen some of the rides from that. They used to be California Screaming, and they reimagined it to the Incredicoaster, I think it's called.
We saw everything except 2 towns, and we didn't realize it till the last night.
Nice.
We took out our map to review, and I noticed that we skipped it. Then I told Erica, wait, we gotta go back in the future. We missed entire toon town.
It gives you something to look forward to on the next trip, even though you missed it.
Cause it has Roger Rabbit toon town spin.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I really like Roger Rabbit. And now they're building up there the new Marvel Land over by the Collector, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Which old and current ride is your favorite?
My current favorite is Expedition Everest. I love that roller coaster. If they built Expedition Everest, I would say that is my absolute favorite right now. Probably one from the past, I would say, would be Journey into Your Imagination with Figment. I just love that ride from when I was a kid with the Dream Finder and Figment and stuff like that. So I would say Splash Mountain you can't go wrong with, Haunted Mansion you can't go wrong with. It's hard to do it just one.
My lunch, Harry, Magic Kingdom, Invasion is Pirates, Mansion, Horror, Mansion, Pirates, Harry, Time.
I like Pirates too. I like the way when they redid it. I finally saw it for the first time since they redid it, putting Jack Sparrow and Captain Barbossa and stuff in it. They really did a good job. Although I would still like to go out and see the Shanghai version, which is really, really cool.
That should come here.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think it ever will. I would love to see it come here, but I don't think they will.
Do you think high tech will come here?
Oh, I think some of the high-tech rides will come here, but I think that, like I said, we don't know what they've got planned in store for Guardians of the Galaxy. All we know, it's a roller coaster. The Tron Light Cycle, it wouldn't surprise me if they upgraded that in the process of doing it, learning from what they did at Shanghai. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot more, especially we don't know what's going to happen with the Star Wars land coming next year. We've only heard rumors about what it's going to be, so I think that there's a lot of good stuff coming to Disney, and I think a lot of it's going to be high-tech.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so.
I love Pirates in California.
Yeah, is it pretty similar?
Longer and 3 drops.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think there's only 2 in the one in Florida.
8 minutes in Orlando, 18 in California.
Nice. I'll have to check that out.
So, when Erica and I went on the longer one, we sat first row, and I was shocked that the second dip was so visible, well lit, so I physically saw the drop coming from a mile away, and it was like a bunny ski slope.
Oh, yeah, yep. It's nice when you can see it coming, but I know that the one in Florida, you can't see the drops coming. Nope.
And the first is a big drop, then 2 and 3 were bunny slopes.
Yep. Yep.
But I wish Orlando had some lighting on the first drop.
Yep. No warnings.
No warnings, but I listened for the powerings,
Yep.
and that's my cue to be ready.
Yep. After you go on a few times, you get the cues of when things are coming.
So, have you been in the new boats?
I'm not sure if they're the new boats or not. I know that I've been in since they upgraded. I'm not sure if the boats were upgraded at the same time. I don't know if they did that or if it was a different time. I don't recall them.
When we got drenched.
Yeah, we got wet too. I remember that.
Were you first row?
No, we were towards the back. We still got wet.
That's what I don't like about the new boats.
You get a lot more wetter.
I miss the old boats.
Yeah. They're probably in a scrapyard somewhere, in the graveyard, as they call it.
So, who is your favorite character.
Sorcerer Mickey is my favorite. I love Sorcerer Mickey. I love seeing him in Fantasmic. I've got my picture taken. So I would go Sorcerer Mickey is definitely my favorite.
Favorite. Parade. And show. Room. Any of the 4 parks.
Well, my favorite show is Fantastic. I love Fantastic. I have to see that every time. As far as parades, Spectrum Magic is okay, but I still like the original Main Street Electrical Parade. I mean, you can't go wrong with a classic like that. As far as like dinner shows and stuff, I make it a tradition every time I go to see the Hoop-de-Doo review. I love that.
Is it expensive?
Dining Plan, I think it's 2 credits. I think all you can eat salad, fried chicken, spare ribs, corn, potatoes, strawberry shortcake, cornbread. So you can't go wrong with it. And the show is awesome.
I also saw the Hawaiian show.
Yeah, the Main Street Electrical Parade is really, really a great show. I think now they have it it's either only at Disneyland or only at Disneyland Paris. I'm not sure where it is right now. They kind of move it around.
My top 3 is Fantasmic Wishes and Move It, Shake It.
Oh, Move It, Shake It over. Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, I think they retired Wishes. I think it's Once Upon a Time now or something like that. They retired it last year.
I hope when I go, I see happily ever after.
Yeah.
They better not retire it before
I'm sure it'll be around for a while.
come.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be around for a while. They just started it, so I'm sure it'll be around for a while.
Well, thanks for the epic chat. I had a blast.
Yeah, this was awesome, Jeff. I had a great time talking about our 2 favorite subjects. I mean, how can you not? Me and you could both go on for hours on this, and I know that you're on a limited time. So I had a great time, Jeff. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks. Where can my people find you on?
I'm on everything. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. If they want to find me on Facebook, all they have to do is look for you. I'm one of your mutual friends, so you can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, any of those. So feel free to drop a line.
So feel free to track Ken down anytime.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks for the chat.
Thank you, Jeff. I really enjoyed it. I'll talk to you later.